afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the flower patch. My name's Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome, guys. I hope you all had a wonderful day yesterday. I had a message off a lady on my TikTok page asking me if I do autumn swags. I do. And I did say to her, well, today I will make one on our tutorial. With it being autumn colours, she did like the one that I did for the lady, which is now gone. So I've got a few bits of those out, what we used with the magnolia leaves and things like that. So I'm only going to do a small swag. I'm not going to do it on a large one. So I've got out one of my little Tidgy swags again, because I do have different sizes, which is a 23-inch or 24-inch, sorry, little tiny swag. Isn't that cute? You know, I work a lot on the bigger swags, and when I get things out like this, it just looks so mini but cute. So I'm going to make it larger because I've decided to cut off some of my garlands, some of the pine needles. I'm going to attach this to the top, and once I've attached it, it will be at least about 4 inches longer. So that's what we're going to do. And also by attaching some of the garland, doesn't matter what type of garland, whether it's maple, pine needles like this, spruce, it doesn't matter. You can always extend a smaller garland. So I've also got out and I've cut a few where there's 4 or 5 leaves on one stem, and then I've placed picks on the other. I have prepared today, and I've been placing things on picks before I started. I usually place things on single picks and pull the leaves off of some of the bunches, so I don't have to do it when it comes to creating something that's already done. So these things, what I've got out, I didn't have any on picks, so I've had to do a lot of preparation before we started. So I've got the fern out, the autumnal one, with a hint of a little brown tone to the leaves. I've cut off on a couple of bunches or stems some of my longleaf eucalyptus. I've also placed some on picks, some of my tarragon, but also got out some full stems. I'm just thinking a little lighter colour in it instead of just being all browns and things like that, just to give it a little bit of a pop with a lighter foliage. Now I've been preparing these as well. I've got a few where I've left on the longer stem for the length, and some where I've placed on single picks of my maple in the rusty brown colour. I've got out again 2 stems of my magnolia leaves, which are also the rustic brown tone to them, with a bit of like an orange, or it's got a multiple of colours, a little sandy, rustic, orange, and a tiny bit of, you can see a red popping through. So we've got those, and I think I'll place those on single picks. They're the only things I haven't prepared because I wasn't sure, but I think, thinking about it now, the stems are really chunky and they are quite weighty. I've got out a couple of stems of my twiggy bits, guys. Yes, the twiggy bits are back, so I'm wanting to place in some of those. Now, I couldn't make my mind up whether to go for the lotus heads or pods or the acorns, so we'll see about these as we go along. But I have got out, I found a few left on one stem, so I've put them on picks. Some of my olive, from the olive leaves, I've got some of the olives here, and I thought I'd place those on picks and dot those around. And again, a mixture, I'm not sure. I've got out my thistle or erygnium, my brown wheat, and also my seeds, which I've placed some of the seeds on single picks, some of the erygnium or sea holly on picks, and I've just cut about 3 off of the main one stem on here, but I haven't placed them on single picks yet because I wasn't sure. I've also got these out again, and I want to use these colours with a lighter, as I say, with a lighter colour to give that little bit of a pop, just to bring it alive. So I've got out 3 stems, and I may cut these down and, you know, place them in as we go along. Let me just... Now I have got out 2 bunches. They are like peonies and some roses and a little bit of hydrangea with foliage, a little bit of ferns, some seeds. I don't know if that may be a little bit of eucalyptus as well, and some little more solid leaves. So I have got those out, and they are brown tones with a little bit of a pink on the peonies here. So, but I do quite like those, and the lady did like these, so I've got out these. Now I called these poppies when I did the other one for the customer. They're not poppies, guys. I should have known better. So they are magnolia flowers. So I don't know why I said poppies. Perhaps when I looked at it, they just look like wild poppies, but they are actually, when I looked at the delivery note, they are magnolia flowers. So we're going to add those in. And I've also, with a wanting autumn look, got out another 6, 3 of each colour of the cream colour, and then the brown in the pumpkins as well. Now I haven't done a bow. I've been sat here debating whether to do a bow or not. I want to, but then I don't, if that makes sense. I think on this occasion, because I always tend to do bows, especially on swags, I thought I may give it a miss today and create something without a bow. I know I do love my bows, but on this occasion, I thought, it's only a small swag, so let's get it filled with the other elements. We can easily place in some of the pumpkins and things around where I'd probably place the bow, and do something like that. So I'm going to bring the camera down, and we're going to attach this, what I've cut off of the garland, the pine needles, to the swag, just to elongate it about 4 inch, that's all, and obviously make it a little bit fuller in the center, because with it only being a small swag, it's not very got much volume to it, so I'm adding to that volume to create it, you know, to give it that fuller feel. So I'm just going to bring our camera down, guys. So let's see. We'll bring it here. If you can hear a noise, guys, like a ticking noise, it's my glue pan, because it's heating up. Well, not heating up, it's hot. It makes like a ticking noise, like it's cooking, because it is just a skillet pan. Right, so we have our garland and just a small swag. It hasn't really got many pine needles or spruce, should I say, or some people call it evergreen spruce on. So I thought I want to give it that bit more volume. So I've been looking which side is the better side, and for some reason it's telling me that it belongs this side. So I want this to go in the middle. I'm going to flatten out the center part just a little bit. I will incorporate them within the garland, and we're just going to sit that in the center. Now I'm bringing it right to the top where the hook is, because it comes with a hook on the back. And what I'm going to do is wrap a few, or I may actually cable tie it or use some floral wire just to hold it in place so I know it won't move. So I will get where the top is, and I've got one single pine needle here. I'm going to put the cable tie under there so the pine needle can lean over the cable tie. And then I'm going to go right to the back where the main spine of the swag is. Wrap it around. If I can grab it around the back, just pull it down where that is, turn it over, and then I'm just going to get the cable tie and pull around the main spine. And then this square, what comes on the cable tie, I will move that on the inside so it doesn't catch on anybody's door, as it is hung either outside or in. So now we've got the first one. I can bring these back up here, and then I'm going to go just a tiny little bit further down, and I'm going to add another one. So I will go around here, and again go through the back, turn it over, cut the excess off, and then turn that square on the inside. So we've got it there, and then I'll place another one. It may be about 6 inch, guys. It's extended. I'm looking for somewhere where like we've got plenty of sprigs coming off, and I will attach this one just around here as well. And then because I've got the long, and this goes slightly off, just to level it up so it stays, as you can see, it's going off to one side, so we don't want that. So I'll get the main stem, and I'm going to just place a cable tie around the longest spruce at the bottom, and we'll cable tie it to that. So let's do that one. So then it will sit in the same position as the rest of our spruce. And then I'll place and turn that on the inside as well. So now our pine needles are attached, so it does look slightly flat at this moment. So some of the spruce, what is around it or under it, I will bring through and incorporate it within the pine needles. Again, just to bring back that fullness. So then we've got two different foliage from the spruce or the evergreen, and also the pine needles. So I'm just mixing them both together. Just take that there. So this is just adding, again, volume and fullness. And as we get down to near the bottom, we will just shape it into that point. So we've added it, so now it is from the where the top is, $29". So we've added a good 6" onto it, and we've also made it look more fuller as well. There. So that's what we have. So I'll just sit that there, and I'm going to use my eucalyptus, the long leaf eucalyptus, as my background foliage or the base foliage. So again, I've cut excuse me, away at this, and again, if you're new, I know some people have heard me say it many times, treat this like it's a body part. So up where the hook is, let me just cut the bit of the stem of this garland so it's not sticking up or out. Treat it like a body part. The tallest piece of the spruce here at the top, just in front of your hook, treat that like it's your neck. Then the wider part is here of the spruce, of the swag, so treat that like it's your shoulders. Then around here is your ribs, and then here is your waistline, and at the bottom is your lower waist. So treat it like a body part, and for when you're positioning your base coat, and then that will give you then your shape and your line to your arrangement. So this, I'm going to just start, I'm going to use a thinner piece at the top, and I'm going to place this on the shoulders. So this will come out quite a bit, so we're making it bigger than what it is. So just to show you, if you've only got small swags left and you need a bigger one, this is how you can make it look bigger. So I've just placed the glue on, and I'm going to glue it to the main spine at the back. And then I'm just going to get one of my spruces from the side and just wrap it round gently so it gives it extra support, and it will hold it in place. Let me just turn this, if I can, this leaf around. Oops, I've pulled it off. Oh, I've snapped it off. Silly me. So that is one side of your shoulders, and then the other I'm going to go directly opposite, and I will bring this one out as well. Again, I'm putting a little bit of glue on, and I will go directly opposite and glue it onto there, and just grab one of my spruce and just wrap it a bit slightly around. So we've got our shoulders. Now I'm sure I knew I'd cut a thinner piece. Here it is, a thinner piece for our neck, which will go up here, and I'm going to attach that going vertical, going down the spine at the back, and just place it on there. And again, I always wrap around some of the spruce. I like to give extra support, especially, you know, if a customer's orders one, then peace of mind for me, and I know that it is secure and nothing should come off. So we've got the one for our neck up above. I'm just turning the leaves around, facing the correct way. So now we have our neck and our shoulders. So because these are quite big, I don't want to smother all the sides and fill them up. So with these, I'm going to come a bit further down, and I'm going to place them here. But I am placing my stem in at an angle, so I'm going up at an angle, but I'm going to be gluing it to the spine, and I will do it the same this side, and then this one here I will attach at the bottom. So let's get these in. So we're going around the ribs, the center of the rib cage, gluing it onto the spine, and we'll get a spruce again, wrap that around the stem so it goes like so. And we'll do the same with this one, directly opposite. Grab a spruce again. And we have that going down as well. And then our final one, I will place, oops, a leaf's come off. Let's just search for that one, guys. I don't really like to see them come off. Let me just place this one in. So this one we're going to place at the bottom as well. and we're going to attach that here. Does it come off here? So let me just wipe the glue off. I think it's the, oh no, it's there at the top, it's come off. So let's glue that on. There we have it. So we're going to do the same. And I've got a spruce under here I'll use to wrap it around. So there we have our longleaf eucalyptus placed in. Right, so now I'm wanting to place in our magnolia leaves, with them being solid leaves and they are really full. Again, the stems are really chunky and I want to be placing those in here. Oh, my coffee. So I'm going to be placing some of these, I think, on pick. So I'm going to work around where we've just placed in our eucalyptus. And I'm just taking off any glue that's popped off or, you know, seeped out as I've pushed this pick in. We may need about 6 or 7. Or maybe 8. Let's take them off. So we'll just quickly place these in. So I do have a, as I stated, a TikTok page. It is under the flower patch. It's only where I just post my work and photographs, but if anybody wishes to order, you know, I do tell them, you know, the people who are looking on TikTok to message me privately on my TikTok page if they would like something similar to what I've created on the photograph or the same, because I can make it again. And this is where the lady who's contacted me has seen the pictures and has asked if I can do a swag with some of the elements. Right, so we've got quite big ones here, and they're all, you know, in different sizes. Let's see where the bigger ones are. Those two can go to the top. Let me get the glue off my thumb. So with these, I'm going to do the same. I don't want them sticking out, so they're like that. I want them to be going in, so that you know, there's about 2/3 of it showing. So again, I'm going for the main spine. And if you want to wrap spruce around them again, that's okay, just to hold them in place. It's not that they will come out, it's just give it a bit of extra support, especially if you're living in a windy area. It just gives it that, holds it with, you know, so it doesn't loosen or anything from the wind. I may push that one in a little bit more. So we've got those at the side of the neck. I'm just going to see if any have come through. No, wonderful. Then we'll get the next one and we'll bring the, I may have this, a couple of the smaller ones up above and at the tail end. And we'll do the same with this one. And again, we're going to go in at an angle. Head for the spine at the bottom. Got a spruce there. I shall wrap that around. So that's there. And we'll do it on the opposite side as well. Oops, let me put a bit more glue on. I don't want, that wasn't really enough. So that's there. I'm going to place one up here. On the neck. I'm going to go under the eucalyptus. Just trying to wrap a little bit of the spruce around. So I placed that on the neck area at the top, but under the eucalyptus. So we'll bring another two. So I could do with another one as well. And again, let's go in at more of an angle. Oh, I've just pulled a spruce off. Oh my gosh, I'm so heavy-handed. I can't see where it's come from. Let me just get this magnolia in. So let's find now where this one popped. Oh, there it is. And glue that back on. There. And then we'll get the other one. And do the same on the opposite side. Oh, I've done it again. Just wipe the glue off. I always wipe the glue off, guys, because I do, you know, everybody to each to their own. I just don't like to see blobs of glue. And I always have it in mind, if I don't like it, more, you know, the customers probably won't like it. Some may not be bothered, you know, but me personally, you know, I just don't really like it. Right, I'm going to get another smaller one. So we don't need no more of those. And I'm going to place one. Oh, here's my cat. One right on the tail end. Let me just wipe that glue off my fingers. You stay there. And this one will also go underneath the magnolia as well. There. So we've got that at the moment. We've added in our solid leaf. Right, so we're going to add in some of the maple. Right, where's the longer pieces first? Oh, I thought I could have written another long piece. Oh, it's here. Right, so with these as well, I'm going to just pull that leaf off. Place these. Let's have a look. At the shoulders. Once you start placing in, for you people who are new beginners, once you start placing in your elements, you can, and we've created our base with the foliage. You can then start gluing things on to other stems that are in. You don't have to wrap everything around the spruces. That's just for my background foliage. You can, if you wish, you can carry on and do it. It's your choice. I'm going to put this one with it being long as well. These pine needles keep coming off. I'm going to put it at the tail end. For the length as well, to add for that length, I'm going to go under the pine needles with this piece and have the pine needles sitting on top. So I've got like the brown, green, brown, green. And then I will go under here where these two sides are, where the eucalyptus is, and I want to go under the eucalyptus. And I will do this side. So I've got some single stems that I place them on. I'm going to bring a few on top. So how I will place them, I will place this one pointing downwards. I will wrap this one, even though I'm gluing it to one of the stems in here. I will wrap a little bit of spruce around it as well. And the one up above near the top, I will face going outwards to the top. Like so. Then I will bring one here. Some are bigger than others, so these are the smaller ones I'm choosing now. And then I will bring one there. I could easily have, and then one here going down. And then if I wish, I could also place another one going up. So then we've got the colours all above. So let's just place these in. I don't need any more of them. That one I've broken. So let's just put these few back on the band. So let's grab these and place these in. So one going out there. That's a big one. You don't need the stems really that long. have one reaching out to that side. And I'm wrapping the spruce right at the bottom of the stem of the maple. The reason I do that is it's so I can still see some of the spruce at the top, and I haven't wrapped it all around the actual stem. And then the last one I will place here. I think that's in the way. Let's oh, I've done it again. Gosh, I'm terrible. Right, here it is. So that is now all our maple in. And it is looking quite full with the orange or the rustic maple. So I want to be bringing in some fern. No, 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 you don't go in that. Molly's trying to get in the box for the customer again. So let's see. I may use the bigger leaves at the top and near the bottom. Let me just stand up, guys. I need to just see above myself. I just want to see whether these would look okay being quite full. No, I think they'd be a bit too much. Let's see. Maybe a couple. So I could take off the top. Like that. And just have two of them. And I'm going to go where the magnolia is because there's nothing here green. And just incorporate that there. And then another one with two. And do it on this side where the magnolia is. Once we've got all our foliage in that we need around the sides, then the fun begins by adding all the other elements. That one's I will perhaps place one at the top. Let's get one with the longest stem. Again, place one up at where the neck is. Then where the magnolia is here. Let's see, I might bring another 2 onto these as well. So I'll chop this one in half. I'm bending the stem so it's pointing downwards because we want it to go down into that teardrop shape. So by manipulating my stem as well into that shape, it does, you know, help a little. And as we get to near the bottom, I'll place in a single one either side. To where this magnolia leaf is as well. So, and then I'll bring one, let's see, do I bring it? I'm going to bring one down there. Just under there. And then I'm going to bring one around here in the middle. Again, I'll cut the stem shorter. Then we'll bring one here in the center as well. And I'm doing it like this because we're not incorporating a bow. So I want it to fill in those areas where I would have put a bow, which is usually around here. So we've got now in our fern going around this, the swag as well. So I don't need any more of that. place this out of the way. Right, let's have a look. I was thinking where I would have placed the bow, I could place in these pumpkins here. I could have got a different one, but another one so it's different colour, but I don't know, I quite like it like that. Or do I just place one? No, that looks odd. So we've got those. Or you could place in, they actually look quite nice in the centre. I had these, I'm just going to place them in so you can see what I'm thinking. I've got 5 out. So 3 in the centre. And do I place, or do it as a 5? I may do it as a 5, guys. I quite like the look of that. Just having it right through the centre of the swag, going right to the bottom. If I just lift it, they may fall, but if you can see what I'm saying, just having a deep, dark, rich brown going all the way down the centre. I think I quite like that. I usually only just put 3, but that's usually when it's the big floral. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to do it differently. So let's just get these in. And again, you can start sticking your stems to other stems. So we'll place 1. In here. I want to lift the head. I'm going to just wrap that spruce around that one because there's nothing there for me to hold it on to. I think that needs to be a bit further up. So let's take that glue off. I think it needs to be about here, not here. And another one here, and then the last one here. Let's get rid of the glue. Oh, the glue is a bit stringy today. And then our last one down here. You could, if you don't have the lotus heads or pods, you could use oh, I can't get that one there. I'm going to have to put maybe a longer stem on it. You could use either pine cones, or if you've got Christmas ornaments in a rustic colour or copper colour, and use that as your centre as well. I'm going to have to place a bigger pick on it. Just so I've got a longer stem. I cut it a little bit too. Let's see. Yeah. Cut it slightly short. I'll just slightly lift that one. I don't want it to be too far up like that. So let's just bring it there. And then just slightly lift the head. So we've got our lotus heads going all the way down the centre. So then I could use these pumpkins around the edge instead. Right, let's see. It's quite deep in colour at the moment. Until we start adding in the lighter tones, it always does. But I always say to people who I teach, trust your process, because, you know, this is how anything would be if you start like that. You will get it where it is slightly darker to start with, until you start adding in light tones. Just looking one for a longer stem. I think it's that one. I'm thinking of adding one bit of colour down here on the bottom. I'm going to bring these as well on the outer side, or around the outer side. With them being quite deep, they will bounce, well, not really much, but they'll bounce on the green, but on the other colours they won't. But until we start adding in, where are they? Let me just grab them. Things like this, that will lift the arrangement. So one, it's got two on. Two on, and that's got two on. So we'll bring the single ones here with just a single flower. I don't know what it is this year, guys. I don't usually get asked to do these sort of colours for autumn. People are wanting reds and yellows and oranges, but not browns. But this year, for some reason, I'm being asked to do quite a few browns. So it must be the in thing. So that's those on, if you can see on the bottom, those three is a triangular position. Now the other three I have are with double head flowers. So we will bring one around here, then one around here as well, and then one up above where the neck is. So I'm placing these where the top of the ribs or rib cage. Let me just push that in a little bit more. Let me cut it, in fact. Because I don't want it sticking out that far. Now we've created our actual boundary. Now a line. So I don't want to go out any further. And it's always going to be wider at the top. And then our last one we'll place, and I'm going to, I don't know, do I bring that at the bottom? Yeah, I'm going to bring that underneath like the one at the bottom. I'm just going to wrap that one around a swag as spruce as well. So now we've got in our magnolia flowers around the top, sides and the bottom. Let me just twist that stem so the flower's facing forward. There we go. Right. Let's have a look. I may not even add these ones in because you can't really see them. What if I add them? Oh, that's moved. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to place in 4. I don't want 5, so I think I'm going to place the pumpkins 1 at the bottom and 2 just underneath the shoulders, and then at the top I could place a lighter floral up here. So let's get that in. So it'll be just above where the flower is. Just bend it down a little. We don't want it sticking too far up. keeps standing on something. It must be a stem. So we've got that one there, and this one under our bottom of our pod, and have that right at the bottom. I'm not happy with this one. It seems to be I don't know if it's the positioning. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to redo that one. I'm going to cut the stem shorter. And we're going to place this one in, back in where we were. And like that. I feel it's too close to that, and I feel there's a little bit more space here. So I may bend that one up. So that one, I need to lift and bend the opposite way, the stem. There. There. I've sorted it. So, now we've got those pumpkins in. Let's have a look. So you can barely see those. I think I had this trouble earlier on when I was thinking which floral to place in. They clash a bit too much. I know they're darker, but I feel that they slightly clash. Let me just have a look at something else. I feel that's better, guys. I don't want those. I feel by using like these gerberas, or some people call them gerberas, but just by adding them and the champagne colour, they are lighter, so they're lifting it. I've only got 5 of these left, so we'll see if we can do something with them. So if we place, I want to bring in some floral up above. 1. So I'm just going to place them in to start with. I'll see what they look like. I may have to reposition them. I may do a zigzag going down, actually. Zigzag it. Do I place one up here? Then that one will need something. I can't believe I've only got 5. Am I sure I've only got 5? I thought I had more. Oh, what's that? What's that? Ah. Oh my gosh, I found one more. I thought I had more. So I can place one at the top and one at the bottom as well. And do it like that. We'll go in a zigzag. So it's here, out, over to the one other side, back over, back across, and then down to the end. That's how we're going to do it. God, that was lucky. I thought I even had more than 6. I thought I had at least about 9 or 10, but never mind. So I'm going to place that in between these 2 dark coloured magnolia flowers. Have those there. Then we'll start over one side, and we'll place this over here. And just lift that head like that. Then we'll bring the other one over to the opposite, so around here. Lift the head again, then back over. Let's have a look. So it'll be about here. And I am attaching, where I've wrapped the spruce around some of the stems, I'm pushing them through the spruce. If I find a spruce there, what's got stems in it, I am attaching them and popping them through the actual spruce. So down there. And we'll go in between these 2 flowers as well, like we did up above. Oh, I've done it again. I don't know what's wrong with me. Here we go. Just lift that head as well slightly. So we've gone down to the bottom and we've done the zigzag all the way back up to the top. So with a lighter floral, again these, I could add them in, but let's have a look. I wouldn't want to place them in the same positions. Do I place 2 there and leave the 3rd out? And I'll place it there. I'm just talking away to myself, guys, just to try and see what would look better. I'll think about that. It does look quite nice. But we've got these. I'm not sure whether I'm going to place those in. Right. Twiggy bits I'm going to place in last. Now we've got the floral. So I think may want that a bit of lighter tone around the edge as well. I'll take these off. I don't really care for these because I've noticed that I've had them and before on the other bunches, and they do seem to fray and pull. So you catch and then you start getting where it looks like it's been torn. So I don't really care for the actual foliage. But I was thinking, because it's dark and you know, the deep colour here and then the brown tones here, just to give something a little lighter around the edge, because I do with the seeds, I do want to be popping those around all on the top and maybe the odd ones around the side. And also I've got the sea holly that I'd like to incorporate around as well. I'm not so sure now. I've cut just 3 stems. Oh, that's not 3. What? But I could actually add some of those around. So there's a lot of choice. So I'm going to just cut those, pull that leaf off. We don't want that. So I could bring, we need something here as well. With it being quite wispy as well. So let's just place them. And then we've got a little colour around the sides, a light tone. I can't get them off. We'd need one around here. And around the shoulders. Oh, one moment, guys, my cats are fighting. One moment. Sorry about this. Sorry about that, guys. Cats, oh, they don't like each other, Marley and Evie. They never have done, even though they've been together since they were babies. But they just really don't like each other. They were on the top of the roof fighting. Snarling, as we call it, at each other. But yeah, they'll eat the dinner next to each other when I feed them. Right, so we want another one there. And then I'm going to place one under at the top and one under at the bottom. So I'm going to bring those around the sides. So let's start and get these in. It's all right crying. I can hear him now crying. He's on top of the roof. He won't come down. He's trying to keep an eye out for Evie. But there really is both as bad as each other. One day I can walk, they cross each other's paths. And it's my white cat called Evie, the female. She will then, Molly can just be sitting there doing nothing, not even bothering her. And she will run up to him and she will go for him and hiss at him. And then on another day, it could be Marley doing it. Evie could be just, sat in the living room and Marley can walk in and he would just then go for her and snarl and bite her. So they are both really as bad as each other. But they just don't like each other. Which is a shame because they're both the same age. They was both born 3 weeks apart. And we thought it'd keep him company having another one. But no. And he was only a baby. He was born 11 years ago. And I got him when he was approximately, I think he was about 8 weeks old. I got him. So yeah, he was just a little baby. He was so cute, and he still is. But for them not to like each other, you think after so long, all these years, they would be fine with each other. But it's just not the case. And that there. And then this one right at the top. I can just push it. There. So we've got the lighter tone flowers around the sides. We've still got some gaps like here, and then obviously on the top to fill in. So I may bring the brown harvest or wheat around the sides where the gaps are. So let's just grab those and have a look. Again, it's brown. I don't really want it to clash. I could get a different colour, but I want to keep the autumn browns in. I think that would be okay. Where's those 3 pieces I cut? I keep pulling out other pieces. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't be fighting. Just grabbing these out, guys. So, where's that other piece? I was thinking of placing them just somewhere as a cluster. I will position it correctly, but out from the sides. And then one here. And then one up here. I don't want to overload down here too much. That will hide the gerbera. So do I? Let's get another one. And then bring that one down here. I've got those there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't want any more. You can't place these on picks unless you pull them off individually. And I don't want to do that. I want to cluster. So just give them manipulation, spread them apart. Place that one there. Now I'm starting to, again, I am sticking things onto other stems. On there, and then two more up above. That might be a little long. There. Oops, glue string, it's following me. I'm just wrapping this one around a piece of spruce. So we've got our wheat in and around the edges as well. So I don't want any more floral, I don't think. Well, we'll keep, no, I don't, no. Again, I've got our tarragon, which I want to add in. I'm not going to add in the acorns. And then we've got these I'll dot around as well. And I don't think I'm going to add these. Let's see. Oh, I still don't know. It's the same colour as the actual flower, the magnolia. Right, let's get our sea holly in. Or thistle. I'll just get a few out to start with. And if you never know where you want to place them, I always, advise place them before you glue them in. And then you can see if they look okay. Again, I may zigzag these as well. Or just place them randomly. Could have one around the centre. I'll get a bigger one. It's got more of a bigger head on it. I think I'm going to do it like this. Have them dotted about. I might place one here as well. I want a little bit further out, not much, just in between, and bring one here also. Swap size because there's two bigger ones there, so I want to try and balance the size difference out as well with the heads, that is. And then we could just dot those around also. So if you look, that's how I'm wanting to place them in and around. So let's go ahead and do that. So now I like where they're sitting there. I'll leave them there and I will just then start to glue them in. If I can see any spruce as well, and I can attach them still to, like here there's a spruce, what you can't see because of the eucalyptus, then I will just attach it to it. Again, give it that bit of support. There's no need, it's just might as well. If it's there, there's a spruce here as well. I could bring that down here and just wrap the tip of it because it's holding in the actual fern. So I could just wrap the tip of it around. Like there's a bit of a tip down here and I can do the same. I may want another one here. There. Oh. That's why I always tap my stems on the side of the glue pan, hoping that I don't get any glue following me. It doesn't always work though. Right, there's a spruce around here, so we'll use the top of that, what's holding the pumpkin, wrap the rest around. I don't know if it's holding it. Not very well. Let's do it again. So, one here. Well, there's a bit of spruce here as well, so I'll take advantage of that. And I'll wrap a little bit around there as well. So now we've got our sea holly or erygnium or thistle, whichever you call it, placed in around the centre. Let's have a look at the seeds. These will just add a little bit of different texture. I don't think I'm going to place. Oh, I just don't know. Something's telling me do it, but something at the same time. Trying to avoid, but then when I think about it, the colour of this is the same as the lotus, and we've not really got that colour up above. I don't like it like that. I don't want to go crazy with the pumpkins. I still can't make my mind up. I was wondering if I've got something of similar colour. Right, we don't need the sea holly now. Let's just leave those out a moment. Let's get these in. Our olives. And I definitely want one around here. Oh gosh, I should know better not to hold on to them, onto the pine needles. But we'll sort it. Got one left. I'm going to bring that down here. I don't think it's my day today. Everything's, that's snapped off. Did you get those days dissolves? We all get them, I guess. That doesn't feel secure to me. I'm going to bring it round the opposite side. There. Right, we've got those in. Do we really need... I know it adds a little or different texture. We'll put a few in. So where you see little gaps, that things like this. Let's have a look. See around. I'd like something around here, just to add that little texture. I know we've got the thistle. Like here. Just adding little bits in like that. Just fill it up. Here as well. I've got one left. I may need to put that on a longer pick. And just place it there. Right, so we've got those in. So then now it's our tarragon, where we're going to be dotting these around. Again, these haven't got any particular like placement. It's just how I, you know, if I feel it makes something's a little bit needed, lighter to brighten it. Like here. I don't know if you can see, I feel like I'm travelling off to the other end. So let's get that in. And I don't mind if some of them stick out further. I mean, I don't want them too far sticking out. Maybe just bend that one down a little bit. Like so. And I'm not placing them all in one particular direction. I'm placing where some may be facing downwards, like so. Some may be facing upwards, or some coming out. Whichever angle I've, you know, I just feel like I like to place them. Just to give, you know, more of a natural movement to them. I feel something needed around here. And you can put several in, you know, in this around the same area. Oh, that's our ice cream man. What time is it? Oh, he's early. We have an ice cream man coming on our street every day. He's a nice gentleman. But haven't ice creams gone up in price? I went at the weekend when he came to get my husband and me and the kids a double 99, as we call them in the UK. And I got there, he went, I said, how much? Well, he's got the price. And I went, can I have three 4.99s, please. £3.50 each. So that's about £14 for 4 ice creams. I I couldn't believe it. I can remember when we used to go to the ice cream man when I was younger, and you could get a 99 for actually 99 pence. I just couldn't believe it, guys. Because usually I buy my own ice cream in the house. But for some reason, as we call it a Mr. Whippy, where it's out the machine, and you guys know if you live in the UK what I mean. I just fancied one of those. And crikey, I couldn't believe the price. But I went in and I said, never again. I said, I can't believe the price they're charging. I started giving it one of those rants, what you give. How can they charge that much money for an ice cream? So yeah. So that was it. They won't have another one. Unless they treat me. Right, I'm not going to place any more of those. And the last of all, our twiggy bits. I'm not going to add these in, guys. It's all right, keep debating about it. But I always say, everybody knows, when in doubt, leave it out. Or if you've already placed it in and you're in doubt, take it out. Because you'll never be happy. So, let's have a look. Excuse me. We'll cut about here. I could get 2 off of that one. Let's cut 2. And these, again, you can either have them long like this or swirl them around, create ringlets or curls, or just keep them straight, or just bend them in, you know, back and forth like that. It's entirely how you wish to, you know, create with it. I love things like this. So I'm going to bring just that one there. You probably won't see them, but I guess if you look close up when you know, like the customer, if they bought it and just spotted things close up, and they will see it. Get that glue string. So I'm going to bring some on the top, you know, as well. I can get 2 out of this one. To add, to me, a little bit of interest, whether you see it or not. I know it's there. I could get 2 out of this one as well. Why not? I'm going to have one coming down here. Have the one with the longest stem. I can glue it onto something. There we go. Here. bring it there. Now I've got the main stem left. Now it is quite substantially thicker than the twiggy bits, but you can, if you want to, just use it and create something with it as well, and or save it for a twiggy bit. I'm going to pop it in at the top. I'll put more glue on it because it is quite chunky and weighty. So I'll just keep it up there. Right, we have finally finished. Sorry if that's took a long time. Let's just move my tools out of the way. Get rid of all these rubber bands. Put them in the pot. Just clear. I keep standing on something. Clear my desk, worktop, or workbench, should I say. So out of a small 23, I think, did I say, inch swag, if you measure from the top of the highest point of your floral, so I'm going to get the tape measure out. I need a bigger bat. And then measure to the longest piece on the opposite end, which is here. It has now become 35 inches. So we have added on, oops, 12 inch, and it is from the widest point to the widest lead around 60 centimeters. So from such a tiny, if we turn it over and see, I need to check if anything's come through as well, but from the tiny, yeah, one out of all that. So what's that? We don't want that. Other than that, everything has stayed. I'm trying to move it to see what it could be. I can't really see. Shall I? Oops, that's the wrong thing. I'm going to just shorten it. Make sure nothing else is sticking up. So from such a small wreath base, we have, by adding in the garland and then adding in wider and longer florals and foliage to elongate, to help, you know, elongate your wreath, you have ended up with a much bigger swag, not wreath. And I think that's lovely, because not everybody can get hold of as well. I hear some people who I chat to find it hard to get hold of, like 36-inch swags to make, you know, something really big with a big nutcracker in for Christmas, and they're finding it hard to get them because they're sold out, or they only do a certain size. And I always say, you know, you can make it bigger, you can elongate it yourself. I know some people just don't want to take that and do that. That's okay. I find it quite enjoyable. It's a nice challenge, I guess, at the same time. challenge your abilities of making something on a smaller scale into a larger scale arrangement. So let me just bring up my camera. And it's lovely. I don't know if you can see. I may have to bring it there. I've ordered a new camera stand. I don't know how good it's going to be, guys. It was just off the off chance off TikTok. Where I can actually bend it over to look down at my work instead, so you can see like above it. But we don't know what it's going to be like. It was on, I had a 50% sale on it, so I grabbed it in pink. Can't help myself. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and thank you to the lady. Her name was Leanne, for suggesting a autumn swag in, you know, and in the colours and some of the elements we used before instead of an actual wreath. So, and again, I decided to make it bigger than what the actual base of it is. So I hope you enjoy what we've placed in. I'm still not happy about how these are sitting. I think one needs to move up, so I may move it slightly up. But I hope you enjoyed how we created this, and again, without actually using a bow. And that's why I've done something like this in the centre, to give that illusion of what, if you had a bow, you'd focal point would be there, or that would be your focal point down the middle where the lotus heads or pods are. I've only added in 3 pumpkins. I could have added in the others, guys, but I just thought that because these are on top, putting some here, it would have been too much around these lotus heads, because it's the same shape, you know, circular. So there would have been too many big round circular objects around, or elements around here, and I including these in the center. And I didn't want to, this is what I mean, I didn't want to overload it, so I needed to balance it so it, you know, you would notice that strip in the center, but then you would also notice just the odd pumpkin at the same time. And by placing these bigger lotus flowers around the sides, I think that's also given your rich colour around the sides, using the green, a little bit of green foliage in as well. And also, if you don't have this long leaf eucalyptus, just use willow or ruscus, or even if you fancied ficus and you wanted to use that, you could use that. And your ferns as well. And if you haven't got the magnolia leaves, guys, you know, you could always use things like aspidistra, elephant ears, the big monstera leaves, things like that you could use. And if you don't have the maple, you could use oak. You could let me think, I've got to try and think of all the different names of the leaves. Oak, you could even add in salal or coleus as well. That would look really pretty. Things, you know, just things on a smaller scale. Again, I like to mix my arrangements with large and small. So concerning the foliage side, we have got the large, broad, solid magnolia, and then in the foliage side, on the smaller scale, we've got our tarragon, which is much smaller as well. And then obviously the pine needles that are already been added on the garland. And then from the floral side, we've got the big magnolia flowers down to the little wild flowers. And then in between, we've got the gerberas, or gerbera daisies, as I know people call them in the States. And then for the thistles, we've got obviously here, but we've gone from the rough texture as well, and I'm a true believer of rough with smooth textures. So we've got the thistle, then we've got also the seed heads, what are tiny as well, which are rough. So you've got that, and your pine needles, and then, you know, your other bits of foliage are soft. And then you've got your wheat or your harvest, which is also rough textured as well. So we've got a variety of rough, smooth, large and small. And also remember to use this when you're first starting for your boundary as a body part. So this is your neck, here is your rib, well, here is your shoulders, sorry, then here is your ribs, then down here is your waist. So think of it like that for your placement. And then once you place in your first foliage, like I did with the eucalyptus, then fill in between your first base foliage, and then that you will carry on then doing that shape. It will just flow, and then fill in things on top. And if you don't have twiggy bits either, go on your garden. If you've got any branches and, you know, they've got the finished leaf, you know, the leaves have fell off or anything, chop a few down, save them, and you can use those in them as well, guys. I've done that lots, and they are very, very helpful. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you try and give it a go. You know, challenge yourself to do something, even if it's a wreath on a small wreath or swag base, and challenge yourself to create it, you know, much larger. We've gone 12 inches more. So if you could challenge yourself to go perhaps 6 to, I don't know, however big you want it, inches more, give it a go. Give it a go, guys, and try and make something out of a small item into a larger. Right, so please subscribe, share and like. You know, invite everybody along, guys, to come and have a look what we've created today, and maybe give them some ideas or inspiration to have a go. And even yourselves, and whichever colour choice, I'm sure it would be beautiful, whether it be the rich reds, the browns, the creams, the natural colours, you know, the very pale lemons with pale, you know, oranges or burnt oranges, you know, things like that, or even burgundy and pinks, dusky colours would look pretty. So have a wonderful day, take care. I've finished early today because I did what I should have done yesterday. So I'm closing up 40 minutes early, so I can go and sit and chat with my husband and have a coffee. So all the best, guys. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all back here again tomorrow. And please keep your comments coming, and, you know, good health and God bless. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, so let's just move in further. Gosh, the video's gone on a long time again today. I noticed it did yesterday. Right, so there are our lotus heads or pods, our twiggy bits, as you can see here. I've made sure that I brought some on top so they do get seen. Our gerberas in a champagne colour. Our pumpkins also in like a milky white. Our wild flower. Our wheat or harvest. Our longleaf eucalyptus. Our magnolia flower. Look how rich that is. Oh, it reminds you of a cozy night. Our magnolia leaves as well. There's the fern with some brown tone to the tips and around the edge. And our pine needles, what was on the garland as well. Our olives and our seed heads. And our lovely thistles or sea holly as well. And did I say the tarragon? I love this. And that's also added in and spread it around as well. So I hope you've had a enjoyable afternoon or evening watching, and I hope it inspires you to give it a go, guys. So all the best. Have a wonderful day. Take care. I love you all. Bye for now. Bye-bye.